to play very well in defensive and very quick. Big problem for us. It was a very difficult game.
And defending champions Leeds are into the last 8. They beat River Plate 1-0. A magnificent strike this from Martin Woods. They're warming up nicely. Cherry Orchard, regular visitors to the Milk Cup, are into the last 8 of the Premier section after their 1-0 victory over County Down. Paul Byrne's goal has given them 9 points. They could be a force to be reckoned with.
Oh, absolutely delighted. We're now through to the quarter-finals, and we hope we go as far as we did on previous occasion when we got to the semi-final when these boys were under 14. So absolutely delighted. Come through a very tough group.
Meanwhile in Ballymoney, Crew Alexander and Botafogo were battling it out for a place in the next round, and just 2 minutes in it looked as if the Brazilians were intent on staking their claim. Eduardo Apachico with the goal. However, not to be outdone, Crew fought back, and just 10 minutes before half-time it was Adam Howard who scored the equaliser, slipping the ball under the keeper. The second half saw Crew in determined mood to take the lead. Andrew Bond's enthusiasm with this strike seeing him stretchered off with a suspected hamstring strain. Botafogo then unleashed a couple of fine efforts but were denied each time. And with just 5 minutes to go, both teams decided to settle for the draw, which sees them both go through to the second round.
You know, the objective is to get out of the group and qualify, and we've managed to do that. And obviously going 1-0 down early on, that looked less likely then. So very pleased to get through.
In Portrush, it was a hard-fought contest between County Armagh and Milk Cup newcomers Livingston. It was the Scots who had the chances early on, but they couldn't quite find the net. Then came the only goal 10 minutes from half-time. Alistair Speakman with a lovely stroke, tucking the ball into the corner of the net. In the second half they could have gone further ahead, but a cool head and great composure from Armagh keeper Philip Baird denied them every time. So 1-0 it ended, disappointment for Armagh, but joy for Livingstone, who now go through to the next round.
I knew it was going to be a tough game. We'd done our homework yesterday. We had one of the coaches going to look at Armagh and Preston North End, so we knew who their strengths were, the big lad, the four in the middle of the park. So we done our homework and nullified him, and then we tried to play our own game. Obviously we were lucky enough to get a goal in the first half that settled the boys. So we're absolutely delighted.
I thought they tried very, very hard, compared to yesterday. Maybe the determination wasn't there yesterday, but today they really tried hard and done Armagh proud.
So, with the opening games decided, the draw was made for the quarter-finals, with 2 English, 2 Scottish and 2 Irish teams joining sides from Argentina and Mexico in the junior section. While in the Premier Group, 1 quarter-final stood out above the others, a rerun of the 1999 Champions League final between Manchester United and Bayern Munich.
This year the Atlas team from Mexico have a very special translator who has lived and breathed the Milk Cup all her life. She's probably actually the best person to have on their side, because not only is she fluent in Spanish, her father is also the chairman of the Milk Cup organising committee, so she knows all there is to know about this tournament.
Well, it seemed the most natural thing to do because I just got back a couple of weeks ago from a voluntary teaching project in central Mexico with Gap Activity Projects. And actually, before I'd even gone out, I said to my dad, I want to translate for the Atlas team this year. So he sort of had me reserved. And then when I came back, I missed the country a lot, I still do. And just being among the boys again, it's so natural, It's a great thing. They're so lovely and really talented and everything, very determined boys. So.
How happy are you to have Victoria as your translator?
Good, because it's more easy to understand what other people say, because many of my partners doesn't understand English.
It's tremendous just to go around all the interpreters, including Victoria, to find that it's such a marvellous job they're doing and an important job for the Milk Cup.
It helps to oil the well-oiled machine?
It does indeed, yes. Communication, sometimes little things can become bigger things, and we like to deal with things pretty quickly, and with all the interpreters this year it's been fantastic. There's a whole bunch of them right spread across the North Coast, and they certainly made our job a lot easier in the organising committee.
As well as translating, I look after accommodation, food, transport. If they want to go for days out or anything, I take care of everything. So, but it's a pleasure. It's not like work. I'm having a really good time here. So.
And have you had any strange requests?
Well, proposals of marriage, yeah, they've been pretty forthcoming. The coach keeps calling my dad his father-in-law. Like every time we see him and stuff like that, now he was going, mi suegro, and I'm like, yeah. And the boys as well. So, yeah, it's quite interesting, yeah. They're just like miniature Casanovas.
It's a great thing to play against United because, I mean, the two professional teams have played in Champions League in '99, the final, and I mean, it's always great to play Manchester United.
It's quarter-final night here in the Coleraine Showgrounds. Behind me at the moment, it's Bayern Munich versus Manchester United in the Premier section. We start, however, with the junior matches, and first up, it's Racing Club of Argentina versus Preston.
This in-swinging corner was the closest we came to a goal in a scoreless first half at Rugby Avenue, Coleraine. Argentinian side Racing Club de Avellaneda and Preston North End cancelled each other out for much of the game. The South Americans looking the stronger on the ball, but unable to produce much in the way of finishing. Several missed chances by both sides in 1 second half minute really summed up the way much of the match had gone. But eventually, Racing Club Sebastian Ahumada broke the deadlock with 10 minutes to go. A scrappy enough goal, but they all count. Ahumada had proved a bit of a handful all game, and minutes later he almost made it 2, creating the time to unleash a real rocket of a shot from the edge of the area. This let-off spurred Preston into action, but despite creating a number of chances in the final few minutes, they just couldn't get that equaliser. Anthony Warrener created probably their best chance of the match with seconds to go, but it wasn't to be, and it's Racing Club into the semi-finals.
Quizás nos falte un poquito de tranquilidad para definirlo antes. Although the team is playing very well and we had tough games, yeah, we need a little bit to be calm to score more goals.
Around 12 goals in the qualifying rounds, but it didn't seem to happen for you tonight?
No, it didn't happen. I think conditions played a big part in the game as well. It was very windy and they penned us in the first half with the strength, and you know the game was very direct. It was for us in the second half, and we just didn't quite create the chances we could have done.
In Ballymoney, it was Dundalk who were causing Holders Everton problems. Just 8 minutes in, Colin Finnan scored their first goal, putting serious pressure on the Liverpool side. Everton then had a chance to level things just before the break, but quick reactions from Finbar Drunty kept it to 1-0 going into the second half. 10 minutes after the restart, Dundalk went further ahead. Kevin McArdle with the free, the ball nicely into the corner of the net. And he duly showed his appreciation to the crowd. With just a few minutes remaining, Everton showed they still had some determination, but Victor Anachibi's efforts skied over the bar. So 2-0 it ended. Delight for Dundalk, their first time in a semi-final. A shock result for the Holders Everton. They just couldn't match Brian Matthews' boys. You must be a happy man tonight.
I'm as happy as Larry. Absolutely delighted. I think the lads are more happy than I am. These lads. Yeah! Jim Maloney.
They performed really well against Everton, who were the holders.
Well, I have to be honest now, it's the first time we went looking for information on Everton, and we told the lads to get stuck into them, and they did it. And there we are, we're here in the semi-final. Dundalk's never come this far, and I'm just so proud of these kids, boy. Absolutely top class, they are. Top class.
Thanks, Brian. Now in the Premier section we had quite a night of high drama. First up, it's Manchester United and Bayern Munich.
This rerun of the 1999 Champions League final began in tentative style with free kicks creating the early chances for both sides. But as the half went on, opportunities grew. As United blunted a German attack at one end, they swept down the field, only to see the usually lethal Sylvain Blake foiled by the German keeper. Then at the other end, United goalkeeper Tommy Heaton had to be alert to stop United going behind. As the scoreless first half came to an end, United were down to 10 men as their County Wicklow skipper Paul McShane went off for treatment with a head injury. He returned for the second half but couldn't prevent Bayern taking the lead as their centre forward clipped in a fine side foot shot past Heaton. And it was almost 2-0 moments later as Heaton went full stretch to tip another shot over the bar. But United stuck to their job and got their reward with just 5 minutes left as patched-up skipper McShane scored the all-important equaliser from Neumaier's beautifully judged free kick. And that's how it finished at full time.